going on, boss?
Embracing his bartender mentality right now.
You look natural back there.
Yeah, got to.
You look
That's
good.
what's up.
Hell yeah.
Work upstairs. What can I get from him, man?
Ryan got Cuban.
I think that's one of my favorite beers.
Easy drinking.
What's that? Oh,
Easy,
yeah.
I like the Truth too. Their IPA. Thank you.
Man of the hour.
It's a lot of eyeballs. What's going on? Hold on, get some beer.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
So, Brandon, if you want to just kind of introduce yourself and tell the group kind of what you're doing.
Totally. Full disclosure, I'm on tech support, live tech support with George. So I brought him with me. So say hi, George, everyone. Yeah. Cool. Hey, George. That's the hustle. So I'm always doing stuff and overlapping jobs on jobs. So I just came from around the corner, which is my store, Flying Gent, which is a men's clothing store. And this is Loft Right, which we're kind of in the process of opening and stocking. And it's kind of like a flex space, event space / home goods store. And we kind of have like a concept upstairs we're launching, which is kind of like a hotel, bread and breakfast kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, more or less, and having my first beer of the day, a little Ryan Guy's Cuban. You guys have food here too? Absolutely. All right, sweet, I'm hungry. Yeah, sure. So directly across the street is Cafe Brioso, which is a building, or a business rather, that a friend of mine, Jeff, he owns. George's still on the line, I think. Cool. So it's one of the coolest coffee shops in town, in my opinion. Really cool culture and great coffee, and they do all the roasting over there. And they've been in the neighborhood for like, 12, maybe 13 years now. So built a relationship with them and decided to do a pop-up shop, which if you're not familiar, is like when a brand pops up inside of another brand, or a brand pops up inside of a retail space that's vacant to temporarily fill it. So that's basically what I did over there for 2 years, like setting up and tearing down like every day. It was like the worst in the world. It was cool to build the brand and like meet people from like the neighborhood, from Voorhees Law Firm, which is one of the biggest law firms in the state down the street, and nationwide, and the state, and the city. And so built a cool network and client base with them. And then with the customers who just went in there for coffee and got to know those people. And we built kind of a cool, like, symbiotic relationship where like I kind of was like the new energy in the space and in the neighborhood, kind of just started hustling, trying to get my brand going. And they were trying to like hit gears and open up new store, and they just opened up one on Long Street. So we kind of fed off of each other that way. So I did that for 2 years, and festivals and pop-up shops and gallery events, and or just selling shirts out of my trunk, or loading up my backpack with my wife or girlfriend at that time on college game days, and just selling T-shirts on campus. So it was like always a real hustle and a grind. So yeah, that's kind of how it started, and we still have T-shirts kind of as a part of the brand now, but that's kind of where it all started, just selling T-shirts across the street.
Anybody have any questions for Brandon?
I know it's pretty much everything in a nutshell, right?
They love to buy stuff.
You guys want to buy stuff? Shit, cool. That's what we're here for.
I have a question. So
Yes.
When you started, did you have another job?
Not when I first started. I started about 9 years ago in law school, kind of doing small business marketing, and I did have another job. Well, I have had many jobs since then. So like I went to law school, quit law school, and then to kind of just pay the bills, I worked for like Chase and Verizon for a couple years, and GM, and any kind of like contractor jobs I could do. But I was just kind of building the foundation for the brand, like just walking down the street trying to meet people, business owners that will let me do anything. Like, you have a slow Tuesday at this bar, can I get people in here and like promote it and bring in bands? So at that time I still had other little odd jobs, but then when I started the pop-up shop, I was 100% just doing that. So for the past that was 5 years ago. Yeah.
How long have you been in the space?
Here?
Yeah.
I don't even know because like we're still in the process of opening, but I think I've been working on it for like a year. I think here, and about 3 at Flying Gent.
Just a bit of history on this building. It was a bank. It was a bank headquarters, right?
Yeah.
And there was a fire in this building about 4 or 5 years ago, and this space here had some retail, but the upper floors were vacant and in pretty bad condition. So the fire, they had to vacate. There was a bakery in here. They didn't cause the fire. It was like a wallet and accessory store, and there was a fire in the heating unit. So those two retailers moved out, and this sat vacant for another year or two. And gentlemen were accompanied, two brothers of the day companies. Ricky spoke about 2 years ago. They bought this building and renovated it. So our space is on the second floor. So feel free to wander up. The elevator is unlocked, and we love to show our space off. The restrooms are up there too. But we've been in this building for a little over a year. It took a long time to move in because they did historic tax credits, and so that delayed the start of the construction. And then the construction process got delayed just for a variety of reasons. So it's been a journey, but it's really interesting. What's been exciting about being in the space is meeting people like Brandon and his wife, who helps him, with the business, and there are other entrepreneurs. You'll meet Paul tomorrow. He's just right next door with the wallet company and stuff. So it's been really fun to get to know people that are just doing some really cool and creative things.
And to piggyback off of her, that was kind of why I fell in love with this building in particular. I wasn't necessarily ready for another store, but like during the fire, after the fire and while they were kind of redeveloping it, like you could see that the bones of like a really, really, really cool bank building were here. So like I came in and kind of like discovered those marble floors, and like no one really knew they were there. Just digging around, they were able to save that for me and fill in the holes. So that turned out like marvelously, and the giant windows, the framing, and the bank deposit boxes that were like in the bank vault. Sick, right? And what else? The wood on those walls over there actually in the bank vault beneath the deposit boxes. So all that was reclaimed, and like the conference room paneling around the frame was actually from another bank building that me and my wife hauled over one truckload at a time and put over here. So it turned out pretty decent.
Yeah. Hey, so how are you marketing this to your customers, potential customers? Advertising?
No, not much of anything right now. Just really focused on building the brand and getting stuff in here. So we don't really do much marketing, quite frankly. Yeah, we try to do some social stuff and do some events like this. Yeah, word of mouth and stuff. We can give each person a really cool experience. They'll tell 10 or 20 or 30 or 40, hopefully. Cool.
So how do you go from men's fashion to furniture to hotels?
Great question, actually. That was the money question. For me, they all kind of fit in the same ecosystem. They're all the same customer. At Flying Gent, most of this stuff just came over. So I just got more space over there. So like if it's like goods for the modern gentleman, like yourself, stylish dude, like, you would have a cool pair of shoes, a good bag, right? That's what we do. It's a full lifestyle. Hair product, cool art, barware. So it all kind of goes together. The traveling guy, the business guy, the guy who just wants to up his game a little bit. So instead of having like, Scarface posters on the wall, you can actually have like, some decent art. So it all kind of goes together.
The ladies like that better.
Right? Well, like 60% of our clientele are women, so it makes sense.
Trying to help guys.
Yeah. We need a little help.
We need all the help we can get.
Yeah. We'll take the help for sure. And guys are typically reluctant to evolve and change in that regard. So it's nice to have the ladies that get it and kind of can help us with that.
So one of the things that I've always noticed about Brandon and his wife is they work really, really, really hard. He's down here 7 days a week.
Sometimes 8.
His bride is a senior associate in the law firm, and so one day, I forget what day it was.
It was a Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon, Sandy and I are down here on the weekends constantly. It just kind of rotates through. And so here comes his wife. She's been in moot court because she's got a trial, and they were testing out different, doing a focus group for the court trial. And she's coming down in her court wear, which is, the full leather jacket, carrying a mop.
Dress and all that.
Yeah, carrying a mop, a bucket, because they had somebody that had just checked out upstairs, and she was going upstairs to clean it out. And I think you were sick that day, and you guys were behind schedule or something. But they, it just takes, a lot of work to do something like this. I mean, an awful lot of work. They never really stop. I think that's why you do it when you're young. But it's, we just watched that day.
If you have a chance, when Brandon walks back around, if you want to wander over there and really see, he's got such a great eye. But what I think is relevant to what you guys do is his ability to merchandise. You can see it here too, but that one's more fully built out. You can really see his vision. And it's all of it. It's the aesthetic of how it smells. It smells just amazing.
Smells like me. Which is amazing.
But it's I just think he has that eye that, when we talk about your libraries and wanting to create exciting and, wonderful places, applying some of those techniques.
Because to
some
me,
ideas.
if you've heard me talk to some of the branch managers, I always talk about what you voice. And when I walk into a branch, I look for the voice. Where is the branch manager's voice? What is that about? In Flying Gent, because obviously he hasn't quite got this the way he wants it. But in the Flying Gent, there is a definite voice. You understand when you walk through that door that
Who the customer?
who is the customer, what he's trying to project to you. And it's a very strong voice. And I always tell people, when I go speak to them, I always talk about Brandon, and because it's so clear and distinct. There is, certainly a vibe about it, but in the way the merchandise is displayed, in the merchandise that is offered, he is a very good merchandiser, because whenever he has new merchandise in, and I come through the smallest boys, the first one in front of the route. And so the customers notice the little things. It's a very clean store. In other words, there's not a lot of clutter. And the store changes all the time. The displays change. How he does it changes. And so it's really, after you finish your beer, if you want to walk over.
Of course, yeah.
It's really, you just look at that and you understand what he's saying. And, I think I really enjoy that experience.
I appreciate that. It's always good to have good neighbors and people in the city that appreciate that. Because, like, in my business, that's like everything is like the merchandising and the stuff you have, and people appreciating how you put those two things together. So in your world, it's the same thing. Like books and libraries. Books have been around for a long time, but like how can you position it in a different way? And it's even tough. And like clothes are clothes, and home goods are home goods. So like being able to put some voice behind it and some brand behind it, where like anybody from an 18-year-old kid to like an 80-year-old man can like appreciate it, even if it's like not for them. So I appreciate your kind words, and you guys can definitely come over there. I want to be there like in literally 30 seconds. So you're welcome to come over there, check it out, check out the merchandising, whatever. If there's anything you want to buy here, you can literally just grab it and bring it over. If it's bigger, just tell me and I'll get it for you. It's fine. So I appreciate you guys coming and enjoying the space, and I'll just have to finish my tech support later. So say bye, George.
Bye-bye.
Bye, George.